Ready? Don't let me down. Don't let me down. This is my new jam. Don't let me down. I like this one, Amanda.
You gotta tell him who sings the song so we don't get flagged.
Okay. All right.
You do not own the rights to that music.
All right. That's my new jam. Don't let me down. That's my new jam.
Hate to rain on your parade there.
Do you like that one?
No.
Wow. Stepped all over. We're talking about raining on a parade. No. Just no. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. You know, I find it interesting that the media runs cover and has promoted this March for Our Lives. I don't find it interesting. I mean, if you don't believe, where's my deep state picture? Okay. Put the deep state. Did I send it? Maybe I didn't send it today. If I didn't send it, I didn't send it. But okay. But this article, more than 1 million people participated in March for Our Lives protest. At least 1 million Americans poured into the streets on Saturday to participate in hundreds of March for Our Lives events across the nation. All right. Police and city officials counted more than 200,000 marchers at the largest demonstration on Pennsylvania Avenue in Washington. Another 175,000 took to the streets in Manhattan, according to New York City police. This is hailed as the greatest march, the greatest event, the greatest eye-opening event on something that needs attention in history. But they spent a week on all the Tea Party rallies diminishing the reason why the Tea Party people were there at the rally, diminishing the count, diminishing the numbers, and debating if they were accurate for a week without helping get the message out of why the Tea Party was there. Complicit, deep state, corrupt corporatocracy, media, whatever the hell they are, in this trying to get the message out is disgusting. By the way, Amanda, what would you have today? Do you have anything going on? I'm just upset that nobody's taking their numbers. Nobody's taking their numbers to task. Everything that is reported is so accurate according to everybody.
Yeah.
Sorry. What say you this morning? What you got going on?
Well, it's a little cold up here on the 13th floor.
Yes, it is. What did I tell you about that? We don't have a 13th floor. I told you the building FYN headquarters does not have a 13th. When you get in the elevator in the morning, do you not notice there's no 13 button? High atop FYN headquarters, it's now time for Amanda. Let's just go there. All right, what do you got?
Well, you guys, we showed you the campus reform video from the college students that thought they had watched the State of the Union, and campus reform had actually been at the March for Our Lives in Washington, and they got together a few students to ask them what assault weapons were, and surprisingly, they did not know what they were. And I've got that video for you. Hang on one sec.
Okay, let's look at that a minute.
I'm Cabot Phillips with Campus Reform. Today we're in Washington, D.C. at the March for Our Lives protest. We're talking to attendees about what they want to see. And when they talk about banning assault weapons, do they know what assault weapons are? Let's find out. What sort of policy changes would you like to see enacted?
I think there needs to be a complete ban on assault weapons. We need laws in place that are going to prevent people from walking into schools with assault rifles. Yeah, I think there definitely needs to be a ban on these assault rifles.
So any banning of any guns, I would be supportive of. To give up some rights to have assault rifles, it's like a higher priority than people losing their lives.
Assault weapons are not necessary for home defense. They're not necessary for the average citizen to have.
What laws would you like to see? What kind of guns would you like to see banned?
Just assault rifles.
Who would support the ban of assault weapons moving forward? How many of you would support banning the sale of assault weapons moving forward? Okay, so 5 out of 5. For banning an assault weapon, do you know what an assault weapon is?
Yeah, it's assault weapon. It's like I kind of do, but kind of don't.
Okay.
Like.
It's just, well, what is an assault weapon?
Can any of you tell me what an assault weapon is?
I guess. But assault weapons, like, does that sound safe to you?
Do you guys know what an assault weapon is?
Yeah, honestly, if you're asking me, any gun that isn't a pistol should be banned.
The same amount of people die by assault weapons as do car crashes in a given year.
As what?
Do car crashes. It's a similar number.
Okay. It's not actually, but.
Or isn't it similar?
No, it's not. So assault weapons count for about 3% of gun deaths, and car crashes are about the leading cause.
Okay, I thought that was. But a lot of people die by gun deaths.
Do you guys know what an assault weapon is, though?
I mean, a phrase that comes to mind is like military-style weapon.
What an assault weapon is? Yeah, it's like an arm that, like a gun, for instance, that you can buy at a shop pretty easily. That is like can cause more deaths than like one, I guess.
I consider any. I'm not even against just assault weapons. I'm pretty much against most guns.
I think that the Second Amendment at this time is outdated. I think that the wording needs to be revisited.
I think it's something that was meant for a different time.
I think the Constitution in and of itself is something that's outdated. Times have changed, and I don't necessarily agree with the Second Amendment to begin with.
I don't think it applies in today's society.
I don't think it leads to anything good or productive or peaceful.
You should be able to protect yourself, but I don't.
It's not with a rifle.
But not with like a rifle. Yeah.
All right. A great video, Amanda, because I'll tell you what, it parallels. I'm glad you brought that out. It's obvious to see, Amanda, that they have all been trained just to say assault rifle. You're not on. Your audio, your mic's not on.
They sound like idiots. It's horrible.
Yeah, they're trained. How scary is it to you that they want to change the Constitution? When you hear young people say they want to change the Constitution, which is right here on the desk, and they want because it's outdated, how does that make you feel?
That's like saying that morals are outdated.
Well, I don't recommend this book for everybody, because it is a stressful book to read. I have to tell you it is, but it's a great one. It's called Scalia's Court, The Legacy of Landmark Opinions and Dissents. It has all former Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia. Okay, so I want to talk about this right now, because Antonin Scalia, former Supreme Court Justice, right here. You want to read this if you can. It's a college course. You got to read some chapters twice if you're me. I have the Constitution right here that we keep on the desk. It scares the living daylights out of me that those are the college kids that we, mom and dad,
That's our future.
Yes, that scares the daylights. Now, why have you? Because of their comments. This is out an hour ago. Retired Supreme Court Justice Stevens, retired Supreme Court, says Second Amendment should be repealed. John Paul Stevens, the 97-year-old retired Supreme Court Justice, is calling for a repeal of the Second Amendment and is encouraging anti-gun protesters to do the same. Okay, school children and their supporters who have been demonstrating against school shooting should seek more effective and more lasting reform. John Paul Stevens, former Supreme Court Justice, I don't know why it's important to start getting this around, but did you notice that what he said is actually in these kids' discussion there?
Yes.
Antonin Scalia said he did not like his Constitution. He liked his Constitution dead. All right? Meaning it was written by the Founding Fathers. It's not a living, breathing document. It's not outdated. It applies. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to take over your segment.
It's okay. I mean, that was good. It's just sad that just a herd that these kids have become. You know, it's scary. It's something they have such an opinion about something they don't even know about.
So a herd like in blindly marching over the cliff? Mm-hmm. Blindly just marching right into the furnace. Mm-hmm. I can't believe the things that I come on here and I feel I want to say, need to say, and I do say on some things. I mean, my God, I wish they would stop. I'm okay for their First Amendment rights, freedom of speech, but I wish they would stop and do just a couple history classes before they're released out onto the street, these animals.
Right.
Before
would you seriously get in here and just boldly, and even for some of these kids, violently express an opinion about something that you have no idea about?
Even at my age, which we will not reveal on the show this morning, but even at my age, I study. I love to study. I never thought I would say that. I really didn't. I never thought I would say I love to study, okay? But I love just to study this stuff, and I get text messages, and I get messages that saying, hey, you're incorrect on that. You better go back. And what do? I don't get up and yell louder that I'm correct.
Right.
I go back and say, "Oh, okay. Let me study this."
Right.
So where did they have those videos at? Where was that at? Was that at the march? And who was that again?
The guy that was at the March for Our Lives. I'm not sure who that man is, but that's a Campus Reform. It's campusreform.com, and I'm pretty sure he's a college student. And he makes these videos, these spoofs of. So
obviously we have a group that has just been taught assault rifle.
Right.
Has no idea.
I call it more than a group. It's like a generation.
Okay, a generation.
These people. I want to make this clear because I've been seeing this a lot on social media. These are not millennials. These are after millennials.
Right. We call them the Obama kids.
Yeah, the Obama kids. Yeah. I think it's Generation Y or I think it is Generation Y or Z. I can't remember. We'll have to do some research on that. We'll have to.
What are they? They're not Generation X, right?
No, it's not Generation X.
And they're not millennials. You need to understand, this is not the millennials, right?
Right.
All right, this is Generation something. All right. Thank you, Amanda. I appreciate it. Let me close with a couple of things. We've only got 7 minutes here. I want to close with just a couple quick things. Again, thank you very much for that video. Yes. Assault Amanda, you found that at the perfect timing. I really did. I mean, you came out with that and hit a home run, because to hear the kids, the herd of sheep marching over the hill, not knowing where they're marching, comes exactly when an hour ago, not even, it was reported by Alex Pappas from Fox News that John Paul Stevens, 97-year-old retired Supreme Court justice, is calling for repeal of the Second Amendment. We have to have our courts. I've yelled about the courts. We have another Supreme Court justice. Oh, let's see. We have a possible another Supreme Court justice retiring, right? And Nancy Pelosi could get the House. Interesting. And the Senate could go. Interesting. You better wake up, America. So that came at a perfect time. I do not want in no way whatsoever to bypass the timing that your video came in. That was perfect. Okay. I want to say for Georgia, I just want to look here real quick. I want to give the vote count. HR 1625. The Senate was 65-32. All right. 25 Republicans voted yes. 39 Democrats voted yes. The nays were 23 Republicans and 8 Democrats and 1 independent. Okay, not voting, 3 Republicans did not vote. 3 Republicans did not vote. Okay, in Georgia, which you do know this, Johnny Isakson, which needs to retire. Johnny, please go today, if not earlier. Johnny Isakson of Georgia voted yes, but our Senator David Perdue voted no. Okay, that was a big one. Now the Georgia delegation in the House of Representatives, 265 members of the House voted yes. 145 were Republicans and 111 Democrats. How can you convince me that Democrats, all right, 111 Democrats voting on something's a good thing, that you sent a good bill up? 39 nays, 167 nays, only 90 Republicans voted no, and 77 Democrats voted no, with 7 not voting. 3 in the House and 4 in the 3 in the Republican and 4 on the Democrat side. But I just want to go over Georgia. Okay, I want to go over Georgia and the vote count in the state of Georgia, which I just flew right by. All right, there it is. Buddy Carter, yes. Sanford Bishop, yes, Democrat. Buddy Carter, Republican, yes. Sanford Bishop in Georgia, Democrat, yes. Drew Ferguson, Republican, Democrat in Georgia, yes. Hank Johnson, okay, Democrat, no. John Lewis, Democrat, no. Karen Handel, Republican, yes. Rob Woodall, Republican, yes. Austin Scott, Republican, yes. Doug Collins, 9th District, Republican, yes. Jody Heiss from the 10th District, Republican, nay, no, never. Barry Loudermilk from the Georgia 11th District, Republican, no. From the 12th District, Rick Allen, Republican, no. David Scott, Democrat, yes. Tom Graves, Republican, 14th District, yes. Tom Graves, a Tea Party darling at one time. And Doug Collins, the 14th and the 9th. Let me tell you one thing before I wrap this up. The 14th District of Georgia, the voting bloc, and the 9th District of Georgia, the voting bloc, is no different than the voting bloc of the 10, 11, and 12. Very conservative, very Republican. If Doug Collins would have voted no, the 9th District would have cheered and reelected him overwhelmingly. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. Nevada lawmaker, rumor mill says Ryan headed for the exit. Representative from Nevada told local news station that there's a rumor that Speaker Ryan will resign soon. That's a rumor. Been told. Jay Sekulow, you have the picture there? Jay Sekulow seems to be one of Trump's lawyers, has unexpectedly become the only firewall between him and Mueller. It looks like Jay Sekulow is the only one is now a leading figure in Trump's legal team. Trump's having a hard time finding an attorney. Don't they have one of those attorney search websites where you can find somebody, representmenow.com or something, whatever that may be. But anyhow, former President Obama penned a letter to the parents of the Parkland teacher to the parents of the Parkland teacher who was killed protecting his students during a school shooting. We're glad to hear he still has a pen and he will use it. Okay, and China and Russia eclipse U.S. in hypersonic missiles, prompting fears. That's some of the things we leave you with. Tomorrow is Wednesday. We will be back right here. Never fear. Okay, underdog is here. Never fear. Right? Is that it? Today, Zell Miller. Remembering Zell Miller in Georgia's funeral today in Atlanta. You folks have a good time. We're going to be back here at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning on FYNTV.com. Take us out of here, Amanda.